The Canadian Parks and Wilderness Society has been an essential institution for the well-being of the Rocky Mountains in southern Alberta. The Rocky Mountains are this highly valued public space that are a deep part of the quality of life of every southern Albertan. They are not something that provides any direct economic benefit to that great public. Somebody needs to speak up for that public benefit. Somebody needs to say that it's in the public interest for this to be maintained for its own wonderful self, for the wildlife that are there, for the water it provides us, and for the respite and beauty and, frankly, the uplifting spiritual experiences we get from the mountains.
My love makes no sense. My love, second best. It's lost inside a maze. Former days. With you, it all made sense. With you, there was nothing else. I would rush to your defense for everything that you do wrong. With you, I aim to please, but you left me on one knee. Now this love sits home alone, wanting to be left alone.
CPAWS has been an essential force in keeping that public interest at the forefront of how we manage our Rocky Mountains in southern Alberta. It's an essential function. Without CPAWS, things would be very different than they are now. People would enjoy the mountains a lot less, and they'd be a lot more environmentally degraded.
Come on down to the place you wish you were. So come on down to the water. Come on back to the place you were before. A long, long time ago.
An organization like CPAWS is important because our parks and protected areas, our wilderness areas, are items of value that all Canadians can share. But because of that, some Canadians, many, take them for granted. So it's important that those of us that really care about them have a voice and can step forward and advocate for them proudly.
With you, it all made sense. With you, there was nothing else. I would rush to your defense for everything that you do wrong. With you, I aim to please, but you left me on one knee. Now this love sits home alone, wanting to be left alone.
But during my time with CPAWS, I think of three sort of key accomplishments. One was the establishment of wildlife crossing structures, the overpasses and underpasses on the Trans-Canada Highway in Banff National Park. The second would be the tremendous expansion in protected areas within Kananaskis country, an area that Calgarians have very, very close to their heart. And then third, the establishment of our education program to help the upcoming generation appreciate and understand our natural legacy.
Our education program is unique because we both go into the classroom more than one time, but we also get kids outside, and that combination has been a very successful model. In addition, we really ask the kids to care, and we promote stewardship and encourage youth to get involved and find out what matters to them to be stewards of these lands.
Yeah, I get excited about seeing new trees and smelling new flowers, and maybe seeing some animals in the forest. Seeing the wilderness protected is important for me and the future.
In my time, we've had to fight for the very soul of what a national park is on a few occasions, because the juggernaut of commercial development gets going and the justification that there's $1 billion of economic activity associated with our national parks. People got to see the parks, and I got to make money, and I need a 4 seasons business, and I need this and I need that. That gets rolling. And if there's a government that has lost track of what a national park is about, A citizens' body needs to remind that government of what it is. Sometimes that involves lawsuits. And these are things that need to be fought, need to be opposed, and need to be stopped. And CPAWS has always had the courage and the focus to do that. One of the great strengths of CPAWS is it has something like a dozen chapters across the country, and when they gather, it's really a gathering of Canadians. And when we ran the Nahanni Forever campaign to create the vastly expanded Nahanni National Park with the Decho First Nation as our colleagues and the Parks Canada, we filled houses in 18 cities across Canada for the Nahanni. And it was such a tremendous feeling to be part of that. And I remember Alex McDonald, who was the executive director of CPAWS in Nova Scotia, driving me to the airport and saying, "You know, I'll never visit the Nahanni, but it sure is good to me to know that we're going to save it." And that, you know, I actually choke up a little thinking about that, because so much of what we're about is this intangible, important, emotional connection to the beautiful wild world. And there needs to be a support network of people who care about the same thing, who don't apologize for it, and who are prepared to act on their passions. And that's what CPAWS is at its best.